Hunter, the Bayport, model 20400. This is allegedly new old stock, and it likely dates back to the early to mid 2000s. And I say allegedly because I don't trust this in the slightest. This came from the stinking e-ripoff, the eBay, the e-scam, e-lies, e-greed, e-dishonesty, e-misrepresentation. I can't stand that site. 98% of the ceiling fans listed on that site are egregiously overpriced and will probably never sell. I don't look on that site for ceiling fans. I don't bother because I can't afford any of the ones on there. But I had a couple conversations with Chris recently about the Bayport and about the Beacon Hill, so he knew I was on the lookout for one of these. Inherently, he must look on that site occasionally for ceiling fans, as he came across this listing and sent it to me. The original listing was priced around $45, $40, somewhere in there. Pretty cheap for that stupid site. It's pretty rare you come across any ceiling fans on that site for less than $200. As far as what this is actually worth, it's hard to say. It depends on the way you look at it. I get a lot of people asking me what things are worth and what the market value is, and there's two different ways to look at it. On one hand, I could make the argument that it's worth whatever the original retail price was inflated to match today's buying power, assuming that it's not moisture damaged, it's still sealed, it's never been used, it's not rusted out, etc. Maybe minus the cost of consumable parts, such as the capacitor in this case, perhaps. The capacitor and the bearings, maybe. Those are two things that might go bad. So fair market price, I would say the original retail inflated to today's buying power minus the set of bearings and a new capacitor. Because the bearings and the capacitor can go bad when it's sitting. On the other hand, it's practically worthless because to 99% of the population, this is so-called outdated, and a lot of people, if they find this in the basement, they would just throw it out or donate it to a thrift store. So it depends on the buyer. $45, I think that's pretty reasonable, all things considered. So the shipping was like 20 or 30 bucks though, and that was too much right now. So I let it sit and I said, let's see, maybe it'll relist for cheaper. Like that ever happens on that site. Most of the time, I look at a listing on that site over time and it doesn't sell. I've seen this so many times. The seller raises the price after it doesn't sell and just lets it sit and sit and sit. And then when it doesn't sell, instead of lowering the price and accepting a slightly lower profit, the thing just gets thrown out and it's a complete loss, because I guess when you're greedy, it makes sense to take a total loss and just write something off entirely than to just take a little bit less profit so that it sells. That's the psychotic mentality on that dumb site. Anyways, I watched the listing and it got relisted after it expired, and to my amazement, it was relisted at a lower price. I said, maybe this person is actually reasonable. So I made an offer, which is something that also usually doesn't go well on that site. People seem to put the make an offer button, but are not actually willing to take more than $1 or $2 off the price, which is negligible in most cases. So I made an offer for about $10 off the lowered asking price of $36, I think it was, or $35. And to my complete awe, the price I submitted was accepted, and the fan was sold to me at the offer I submitted. Even further to my amazement, when it showed up, it was inside a second box. So far, everything seems the way it's supposed to be. Hopefully, that trend continues. Let's take a look at the box. It was raining when this got delivered, and that is absolutely no fault of the seller. It did get left out in the rain. The external box was soaked, but fortunately the interior box, the original one here, was not. So it says 85% quieter than the competition. I don't know what the competition is, but I find it very hard to believe because these things aren't really all that quiet to begin with. But they're not unreasonable for the amount of air moved. These things move a ridiculous amount of air. And quite frankly, there really is no competition for these. I think these are the most powerful 42-inch residential grade fans there ever were. This and the Beacon Hill. Well, actually, I've never tested one of these personally, so I guess I can't test to that personally, but this is more or less the same thing as the Beacon Hill. And it's probably stronger because it's only 4 blades. I think the internals are more or less the same. Blades are rosewood or medium oak with antique brass finish. And unlike the stinking bright brass finish, this is actually kind of yellow. It's not a chrome imitation. You can pause this and read some of the specs if you so desire to. High output motor. Yeah, this isn't kidding. This is definitely high output. Now here's the specs, which I think are pretty exaggerated. I really doubt that this pushes 7,000 CFM on high. That just seems a bit of a stretch to me, but it's hard to say. You know, you compare these CFM ratings from fan to fan, and it's like they're all bogus because you can take 2 fans with a similar rating and put them side by side and they perform totally differently. Turn this into the light here. And I'm not going to read through all this, but if you want to read it for yourself, you can pause the video and read it. Bright brass finish, you mean chrome? Look at that old CRT monitor. Alright, let me turn this back over. If it doesn't say Hunter, it's not a Hunter. What a stupid slogan. If it doesn't say Hampton Bay, it's not Hampton Bay. Yeah, no kidding. You really couldn't come up with anything better than that? If it doesn't say Hunter, it's not a Hunter. Yeah, that really makes me want to buy the product over any other brand, which is also not that other brand if it doesn't say it. Unfortunately, this is a case of the box is open to inspect the contents and everything's been handled and hopefully wrapped up correctly and not all just thrown in the box to get all beat up in shipment. All right, let's see what we got here. So we have all these documents. The blades appear to be sealed. I don't see any kind of moisture damage or anything on them. These look pretty reasonable. A couple of spots there. Hopefully that's not on the blade and that's just on the whatever this wrapping is that's on there. There's also a hole there, but it looks like it's okay. Okay, there's the mounting bracket just kind of floating there. Here's the down rod, which is still in the package, so that should be fine. Here's the canopy. Let's see what kind of condition this is in. It's very dusty, but it seems fine. I don't know why it's all dusty like that. Here's that balancing kit that nobody uses. There's got to be like hundreds of thousands of those in the landfills. What a waste. Hey, that all checks out pretty good. Now inside here we've got the irons, which are individually wrapped still. They're not perfect, but they're pretty reasonable. You can tell there's a couple bits of scratching here and there, but nothing egregious. Now these are slightly scratched up as if like somebody stacked them, you know. Maybe I should look back at the pictures and see if they were stacked up, but that's, see that the scratching on there is what you get. Let's see if I can get a good picture of that. See right in this here? This is what happens when you stack the irons on top of each other. That's why I never like to do that. I always like them separated by paper or a bag like this or something. But that's very minor. That's not going to be an issue once it's installed. You won't notice that. This one's pretty good. Yeah, a little bit of marks there, but nothing crazy. This one looks to be pretty much perfect. Well, that's interesting. This is using the same packaging as the Beacon Hill with the light. That's the section there where the shades go. Hey, here's the stupid grommets and everything else. Oh, this is a grommets one. Oh, joy. This is going to be fun to install. There's that piece. That doesn't really, it's not really seen. If that's damaged, it doesn't make any difference. Now let's see what the switch housing looks like. Pretty good. Don't see anything wrong with the switch housing. And now the motor itself. Well, the motor has seen better days. This is pretty jacked up for something that's still in the box. Let's get this in focus. Lots of marks on the side here, and some corrosion on the top, which is kind of weird for something that's not installed. It's not horrible. You know, these are things that you probably won't even notice once it's on the ceiling, but for something that's supposedly new, I'd be willing to bet this damage took place because the seller wanted to open the box to show the contents or whatever the heck the nonsense phrase is. And had that not been done, there's a good chance that damage wouldn't have taken place. This one is from the late 90s, 1998. The motor is pretty big. It appears to be more or less the same motor. And now I can get a good picture of the damage here. That's pretty badly beat up for something that's never been used. So that's a touch disappointing, but for what was paid and for the stupid auction site that it came from, this is not bad at all. I don't expect pretty much anything from that site anymore. Scammed and ripped off too many times. But this was pretty reasonable, surprisingly enough. I don't know, is this supposed to go down like that? I feel like it is. In the box, it says 44-inch blades. These are only 42, and there's a space there. I wonder if this was just like a throw together afterthought or something. It is kind of odd that it would sell a literally identical model to something else just with a different number of blades. Why not just build like a 4 or 5 motor at that point? Well, maybe it was like a spare parts throw together design. I don't know. It's possible. I don't think that this is where this goes. This is where the light fixture went on the Beacon Hill. It's not quite going to close. I'm not going to fuss with it now. I'll deal with that later. Well, that was a pleasant surprise, that whole experience. And it should be normal, but not on that site. You're lucky if you don't get ripped off on that site. So now we have a Bayport. I guess we still don't know if it works. It's, you never know. This could have been a defective return or whatever. Who knows? New in the box, new old stock does not necessarily mean it works perfectly. Quite frankly, in my experience, especially with electronics, I've generally had better results with stuff that's beat up and filthy and was in use since the day it was purchased. Ceiling fans, they definitely can break down in storage. You can have bearings go bad, capacitors can go bad, finishes can corrode and wear out. This one looks generally okay cosmetically. Hopefully it's just as good mechanically.